Hello, I got Prime from Goodfire. Had this one several times. Goodfire is from Portland, Maine. I think this is brewed in Portland, but they have like a tap room and restaurant in Freeport. So it's just a Citra focused IPA. It also has Amarillo and Columbus hops. So some pretty classic ones. It's 6.5% alcohol. This is canned April Fool's Day, so that is a teeny bit over a month old. And I got it in the fridge, and I've had it in my fridge. I only have one can, and it's pretty good, but the Goodfire stuff, I guess, is like really sweet and yeasty. And when I first had it, I was like all about it. Long time, like what was that, 7 years ago, something like that. Maybe 6 years ago. And now I'm not as into the really sweet birthday cakey type IPAs, but see what I think of this. Amarillo and Columbus are definitely some more punchy, bitter hops than the whole candy tropical Citra is. This glass is pretty clean, but actually this is, surprisingly, it's not super hazy. But I guess it's been sitting untouched. There's probably some sedimenty stuff. That looks pretty nice. Bubbles are popping pretty fast, but yeah, it's definitely big on the yeast. Yeah, it's got that almost like vanilla funfetti birthday cake smell. Which is like, it's funny that Citra is called Citra. I think at first they were like, oh, it's so citrusy, but what Citra has become, and how it's brewed with these days, it's not a citrusy hop to me. It's just super tropical, sugary, papaya type fruit. And I don't really get orange. I think some hints of the Amarillo bring in some orangey stuff, but this is definitely Citra focused and very yeasty, yeast ester forward. Looks pretty good though. There you go. On camera it looks very hazy, but I can see my finger through it. I guess you can't really see it on camera. Head's quite nice. And that's one trick, is that a lot of people have learned from like slow pours and things that pouring like that will get you a nicer head and head retention. Usually if the beer is brewed properly, and the brewers care about head retention foam, then you can get something that looks really nice, like a good draft pour. I mean, it smells good. It smells like what you expect from something called a Citra IPA, you know? Mm-hmm. Little bit of like a boozy thing, but it's so sweet. A little bit of texture to it. Not chalky, but very low in like traditional sort of bitterness. But really nice head. And it feels nice. It's kind of light and fluffy. It's not that thick, surprisingly, because it's so sweet. But a very nice, like, smooth, fluffy, airy, but not over carbonated, not bubbly. And then there's just a kind of slightly powdery thing in the finish. Not throat burning, but just big on like cotton candy bubble gum. This is, yeah, the sort of beer that, like, if I had something like this 10 years ago, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I think like 10 years ago, I was only finding stuff like this that was like from Finback. It's not far from Trillium, but it's not quite like Trillium. It's not quite like Bissell Brothers. But I'm wondering if there's some sediment in the bottom that'll give me a little bit more of an oomph, because it's like, it's very Citra-y, but I want a little bit more like fresh. Ooh, throw that too much. We got some hella chunks. And that's one reason why I haven't done a lot of reviews of Goodfire. It's like, it's hard to find their beers fresh down around Boston. And this, are, yeah, very flocculated chunks that just fell to the bottom. You can see those in there. Yeah, that's what happens with their beers if they're, you know, a month old, is you'll lose some of that haze and the flavor crystals and such into this chunky stuff. And that's where a lot of the, you know, the stuff that makes a hazy IPA special, it sticks to that, and then it falls to the bottom, and isn't that great? I add a little bit of something. I really would just like if they used more Amarillo and Columbus. That's what most people probably don't want. But that would really kind of bring this more citrusy, maybe a slight pine and bitterness. Because I want some bright fruit, juicy, fresh stuff. Not all cake candy, cotton candy, sugary papaya, tropical. There's a little bit something more now. Maybe a little bit more dankness, which also helps. But I'm not pulling out a lot of other fruits. But a real nice feeling had. Nothing really off about it. Though it is very yeasty, it's not too much on that. And if you like a soft Citra forward hazy IPA, this is exactly what most people want, I would say. Definitely deserves at least a 4. Probably give it 4.1, 4.15. I think when I first had it, I was like all about it. I gave it like 4.5 plus or something. And it kind of just depends on my mood. I want something a little bit more. The dankness is helping. Maybe 4.2, but I'm not good with ratings. Bye-bye.